Now, last week we told you that one of our health trusts had been judged one of the most gay-friendly employers in the country, and this week MPs will have their first chance to vote on gay marriage when the bill to legalise marriage for same-sex couples gets its second reading in the House of Commons on Tuesday. Well, they're both subjects close to the heart of Ian Campbell, who's gay and is a Bassetlaw district councillor. He's prepared his own personal report for us.
Hi, I'm Ian Campbell. I'm a local councillor and I'm here at the Nottinghamshire Healthcare Trust to find out why they're one of the most gay-friendly employers in the country.
Every year, Stonewall rates businesses on how they treat staff who are gay. A number of East Midlands councils made it into the top 100 on the list, and so did Leicestershire Police. But the Notts Health Trust made it into the top 5.
So tell me, Rachel, how are you getting involved with Pride this year with the Trust?
Every year we have a stall at Pride.
Rachel Phillips is the chair of the Trust's LGBT Forum, representing lesbian, gay, bisexual and trans staff.
There's nothing forbidden to talk about, so it's not you have to be politically correct. It's about being able to be open about what you believe, because we want to provide a service for everyone in the community. So it's part of, if staff can come to work feeling that they can be their whole selves, then we can provide that service for patients in a far better way.
Next, I'm on my way to see Professor Mike Cook.
Hi, Mike, nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, Ian. Welcome to Notts Healthcare.
He's the Chief Executive of the Trust.
So Mike, what are the benefits that you get as an organisation to your business and employees by being part of Stonewall's Top 100?
There's a business case in this. For me, wanting to attract staff, Nottingham's a big place. It's likely to have more than 10% of a LGB population, and I've got 8,800 jobs. I want my staff representing the community. I want to be able to give choice to patients.
It looks as though our employers are getting the message about gay rights, but what about our politicians? Gay people are the same as everybody else. They need to be given the same rights, whether it's marriage, giving blood, education, employment. I think marriage is a fantastic institution for two people who love each other dearly to enter into a contract, so to speak, not just with themselves, but whichever God they believe in. And I, as a Christian and as a gay man, want to get married in my parish church. I don't want to get married anywhere else. I want to get married under God, like I say, in my parish, in Retford, with the person I love.
He makes a fair point there, doesn't he, Ian? If you love someone, why not?
Well, why not indeed? I think this is an idea whose time has come. But I think it's very difficult for all of us as members of Parliament, because there are people who have views on both sides of this argument. And while opinion polls show that the majority of people support it, many of those who don't feel very strongly about it indeed. I just think that the God that I believe in said that we're all created equal, and so gay people should have the same right to say that they want to get married. But let's also be clear that what we're voting on this week is not about gay people getting married in church. It's not about churches being forced to do this. It's not about changing the school curriculum. It's simply about whether they will be able to have what's currently a civil partnership, worth less than a marriage, if you like, actually called a marriage. And I think that's an idea that's time has come.
OK, well, Ian has told us that he's not very happy, Pauline, about the Church of England being exempt. He feels that some parishes would carry out gay marriages, but can't.
I'm sure they would. And I want to say at the very beginning, some people have said to me that this is obviously a very divisive issue, and that anybody who's not in favour of it is homophobic. And I'd like to say, in terms of members of Parliament who will be voting on it, that is completely untrue. I haven't come across one member of Parliament who's homophobic. So we're looking at it from a very different point of view. And there are such anomalies in this bill. I'm very happy for gay people, if they love each other, to be together and
get married?
The civil partnership, no, I'm not going to vote for gay marriage.
You're against?
For a number of reasons. The bill is so flawed. If we've got to have a quadruple lock, which is what it's been called, for the Church of England, and then they're being banned from marrying somebody, as you said, what about the Sikh temples? What about the Muslims? What about the Jewish faiths? We haven't heard their views very much, and I think it's this big problem. If Toby and I had an affair, he's married, I'm married.
Steady on.
If we had an affair, it's not going to happen, Toby. His wife his wife and my husband could divorce us on adultery. If I had an affair with you, My husband couldn't divorce me on grounds of adultery because there can be no adultery between two women or two men. But so there's such anomalies. That's
well, yes,
why it's
I hear
wrong.
what you're saying, but I thought Conservatives too were generally in favour of the whole institution of marriage.
We are in favour of the whole institution of marriage.
But you're not in favour of gay marriage?
I'm not in favour of gay marriage because I'm, unlike Toby, I think the time is not right. We haven't got the people behind us. I've had so many letters from people, not homophobic letters, I've had one homophobic, but hundreds of others.
Have you really had
against
so many letters
yes,
about it?
About this more than any other issue since I've been in Parliament. I've had 4, although they're starting to come in now because the gay community are getting their act together and bombarding us a bit in the last day. But up to then, I'd had 4 marriage.
Well, let's not forget, of course, that love aside, the government reckons that gay marriage could bring in as much as £14 million into the economy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
which is not to be sniffed at, is it?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not the reason for doing it. It's not an economic question broadly. I think it is a question of fairness. I think that you know, we're not all equal until you have that right. But I think, I mean, I think where Pauline is right is to say that this bill isn't a particularly good one. The quadruple lock on the Church of England is wrong. What they should be doing is saying, let's leave it to churches to decide, whatever religion they might be. Let's leave it to them to decide.
OK, well, we sent Des Coleman out onto the streets of his hometown of Derby to see what you think.
If there's a wedding here this weekend, it'll be between a man and a woman. Well, later this week, MPs debate whether to allow same-sex marriages. I'm here in Derby to find out your opinion.
It's not my cup of tea.
No?
No.
You don't think they should? Shouldn't be legalised?
They can do what they want, but it's not my cup of tea, you know what I mean? So
the reason why I don't believe in it because if a woman marries a woman, that means they can't have kids, and if a man marries a man, then they can't have kids. I've got a daughter and I've got a son as well. If my daughter was lesbian and my son was gay, that means they would have no generation carrying on.
That's fine with me. I have no problem with people, you know, if they wish to get married, that's their business, it's their life. If they wish to make a commitment, that's up to them, isn't it?
People are who they are, they deserve to be happy just like the rest, and, you know, same-sex marriages. So, yeah, I agree with it, totally.
You know, if they want to get married, go for it. You know, it's legalized back in the States, so, yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that.
And how about you?
Totally disagree with it. From a religious point of view, I'm a Muslim, so we consider it to be prohibited. Homosexuality is not allowed. Therefore, we don't agree with the marriage between 2 men or 2 women.
Johnny, Steve, you're a gay couple.
Yeah.
Same-sex marriages, what's your opinion?
My opinion is that basically I think everybody should be able to get married. If they love somebody and the love is there, then why not?
Do you think the government should legalise same-sex marriages?
Oh, no.
That's what you think. Who knows? In the future, the traditional wedding between a man and a woman may be a thing of the past.
So go on then, Pauline. What were you about to say before I rudely interrupted you?
Well, there are people queuing up to go to the Court of Human Rights to overturn this quadruple lock for the churches, which is a complete anomaly. And there are going to be all sorts of other things. If a registrar is licensed by the local authority for marriages in church, if they say, no, I don't agree with same-sex marriage, that church will probably not be able to conduct any marriages, never mind a gay marriage. So I think there's a whole lot of things that need ironing out. I can't have a civil partnership, I can only have a marriage, but gay couples will be able to have both. And, you know, there's something wrong there.
OK, well, you could see, couldn't you, from the Vox Pops that we did in the centre of Derby with Des Coleman there, how mixed opinion is among the public. And they are extremely, you know, they're opposing opinions, aren't they? And very strong ones too.
Yeah, very much so. With there's been a series of polls on this, and clearly, you know, there is a majority that support the idea of gay marriage. At the same time, for entirely reasonable reasons, and not saying anything against those people, some people feel very strongly against it. But I think, you know, the idea of religion, I'm someone proud to call myself a Christian, but I believe that Christianity and equality are very much closely linked. But the idea that any religious institution will be forced to do something they don't want to do is wrong. But that is not what we're going to be voting for on Tuesday.
And do you get a lot of correspondence from your constituents about this? I mean, Pauline says she gets lots.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been the most of any, but no, I have had a number. I've had 3 different meetings in Chesterfield with opponents of the bill, and I'm intending in the debate on Tuesday to represent those views. They're worried about whether it make change to the school curriculum. They're worried about whether they'll be forced into it.
Okay.
And I intend to get assurances for them that those aren't the case.
Well, we now know which way you're both going to vote.